What we need to discuss, so eyes up here, please, no pencils, no nothing, is we need to talk about a very important topic, and that's called privacy. And then there's been some things that have come up recently that have alarmed me. And then also, the other thing I have to remind you about is the use of your Chromebooks, okay? Now, this doesn't entail very many people, but I just need everybody to be aware, okay? Things and remind you, because right now, for some people, not everybody. This does involve everybody. I'm very disappointed in light of some recent events. But, and I'm not going to explain what they are. And it's nothing about that. But you number one, your Chromebooks are for school purposes only. Okay, you don't use anything on the Chromebook unless you're instructed to. Yes, you know how to use our cameras. We've got Google Meet. We have chat. But those are only supposed to be used for school purposes. Tatum, please turn around. They're not to be used in any way at all to exploit anybody, to make fun of anybody. They're not you. You have no right, no privilege to record anything at all. The only ones that should be recording is the teachers, and that's their discretion for different reasons to add lessons to the Google Classroom. If you're recording for your class purposes and your teachers instructed you to do so, that's the only exception to that rule. But I know for a fact there's not much of that going on. You'll be recording your voices when it comes to the project that we do for Bud Not Buddy, but that's under my guidance and under Mrs. Roberts' guidance. Any use of those any use of your devices that are not for educational purposes causes you to lose your privileges. It will make your life more difficult. You know, we do everything online, especially with everything going on with the pandemic. So you need to be aware of that. There'll be other consequences as well if you ever do that. So to know that someone has abused at this point, we have gone so far with having very little difficulty. People not using the Chromebooks the way they should. Most of you have done an excellent job and should be commended. You're not to use the chats for your personal enjoyment. The chat has to be activated because it's a part of other parts of Google. It's so that the teachers can communicate with you, not through chat, but other ways. So you need to stay off of that as well. Also, privacy. You know, we talked a lot about over the years about keeping your information private. We've talked about, and we'll talk about, like, you know, you create, usernames that don't identify who you are, passwords that are strong, and the fact that you shouldn't share private information. Nothing in this school at your home should be privately shared to anyone. You need to keep everything private, even at the school. Okay, you don't want other people seeing your grades because that's your private information. It is important that things are kept private because today with social media, our privacy is expendable. It really is expendable. Okay, I'm sure you don't want anybody knowing goes on at your house because that's your private space between your parents, your siblings, your animals, your pets, and you. It's the same that goes for school. The school is a private place. Yes, it's a public place. I'm not saying that. But we don't, and nobody, and any student has any privilege to do anything other than that's instructed by the teacher. And you know, those of you that are new, you know, you may not, we're getting you up to speed a little bit, but we talked about at the beginning of the year. You sign at the beginning of the year You sign that document that you're not going to share things that are private. Okay? And don't abuse what we give you. Okay, we've had to open things up. Those of you who've been here for a while, we had a lot of things locked down. Cameras were locked. You barely could use Google Classroom. Google Meet wasn't even an option. All because it wasn't necessary. Then last spring, I had to prove to open it up so we can make our remote learning successful. So you could, as best as we can, given the situation we were in, for students and for teachers. Okay, it was an overwhelming situation. I had to continue to open those things in order to keep the school at a level that we continue to teach all students. We value every student in this building. And you should value your teachers that teach you. So remember, again, the Chromebooks, to have them are a privilege. You go to high school, there's even more ramifications there of using it. Yes, it's pretty much assigned to you. You take it home. It's a little different for high schools. And some of them, middle schools are different as well. But they're your devices. That's our account. That's not yours. So from moving forward, I hope I don't hear of anything, again, that any of our Chromebooks are supposed to be closed. Anything that was misused. Okay, let's make sure we finish the school year off and continue to use our stuff responsibly. Okay, we have a few minutes left. And we will then continue on with coding. Go ahead. Thank you. Oh man, did I not record?